Win against a really good Montana State team, to be honest with you. Was really nervous about this one simply because of their ability to make threes. And I mean, they put up 43 threes. But for us to be able to, and some of that is they played 2 nights ago, but to hold those guys to 28%. And then I also thought, what happens is the shot radius defensively off the glass is so much bigger, and they're 12-0 boards, but 7 of them are team rebounds. So I was really pleased about our ability to kind of retrieve those shots, because those things kind of ricochet out sometimes and allow possessions to get extended. But happy about the rebounding, happy about 5 guys in double figures against a really good basketball team, and then 85% from the free throw line. They'll win you a lot of basketball games.
How pleased were you with the start? Obviously, emphasizing getting to the rack. You guys go up 12-0. I think all of them were layups and free throws, and then able to build a double-digit lead right away.
Their style of play is they fan out and take away threes. It's more systematic of how teams play in the Big Sky. So to get 52 points in the paint, but I thought we were very aggressive at the rim. It was something that we talked a great deal about coming into this game, that there would be opportunities there, but I really appreciate the aggressiveness. Thought they countered some of that, and they countered what we were doing defensively and offensively, but I did think that there was more of a mindset to try to go get paint touches.
You kind of touched on it a little bit, just the challenges of defending a team that's going to shoot 43 threes, but especially that new style you guys are playing on defense. Just a lot of running, a lot of scrambling. What was it? What was I guess the review of that? Like, how do you think your guys held up with having the floor stretch so much on them?
I thought it was great the first 2 medias. I thought we did a really good job, and our backup coverage we had to employ because they went small. When at about the 8-minute mark there in the first half, they went small, and fortunately they missed some shots, but there were some pretty clean looks there when we had Quincy on the floor. Mate has the ability to switch 1 through 5, and so Mate, one, due to Quincy's foul trouble, but then because of his defensive ability to stay engaged in those, I thought overall was good. There was some confusion there, especially in the second half, but we were pretty dialed in for the first 12 minutes.
How impressive was that spurt there from Justin at the end of the first half? He drops the guy behind the back, did a heat check three, and then the lob to Harlan against the zone, and just him be able to showcase all that little spurt.
The thing I appreciate about Justin is he's constantly communicating. Like, there were some matchups that we thought were favorable our way, and he was able to kind of take advantage of those. And then, there at the half, we had a zone play and we had a man play. Usually, when you call a timeout, the opposition is usually going to try to switch defenses. And so they knew it. And he if you watch the film, he hollers back and says, "Do I do this?" And you had to remind them, like, yes. But I really appreciate the fact that he was going to find out what the right thing was to do, and really delivered a dime there to Harlan. We had just put that play in yesterday. We ran it last year, but we put that play in yesterday. Harlan, when we were at Western Kentucky, when Western Kentucky went zone, said, "Can we put in that lob play?" And I said, "We don't have it in, Harlan. We can't run it." And so he reminded me yesterday, and I'm glad it worked out.
Just with when they rallied to within 6, I think pretty early in the second half. What impressed you with how your team responded? And I don't think it got ever below 6. So what did you guys do a good job of to build that lead back up?
One, we had zero illusions about the 14-point lead at the half. I mean, they had only taken 8 twos, but we knew that they could get back in this thing quick. I mean, if you look, their first 5 possessions, they have 12 points. And we have to script a layup for Quincy off of a set, and the other 2 was kind of a dangerous shot. It wasn't our best shot. I thought our shot selection was bad, and we just needed to remind them what we were doing in regards to shot selection on this end, because I thought shot selection cost us. I thought Harlan's first play of the second half wasn't necessary. Like he didn't need to try to scoop it underhand left-handed. And there were just easier plays to make, and we weren't getting any stops. So you had to remind him about things we were doing defensively, and we needed better shots, and I thought that happened.
What's impressed you the most about Ronnie's play through the first 2 games of the season? Especially thinking back to last year, this time of year he wasn't even able to play. What's impressed you the most about him through 2 games?
One, if you watch, he always does his job. So what happens here is they all get graded. And do you do your job 80% of the time? It's rare when he falls under that 80%. So you have a responsibility if you're a crash guy or if you're a get back guy. He always does it. The thing that I remind players of are free throws are rewards. It's a reward for your effort. It's a reward for being committed to get paint touches. Sometimes you're rewarded for the opposition's stupidity. We've done that now 4 times. Once fouling a three-pointer tonight, 3 times the other day in Western Kentucky. So sometimes teams get rewarded because the other teams make moronic basketball plays, and we unfortunately continue to do that. But I'm glad he was rewarded for his effort. And if you look, 6 for 12 the other night. He goes 4 for 4 tonight from the free throw line. But he makes up for a lot of guys' mistakes defensively. Like his ability, his mobility, and he knows what he's doing. It can cover up a lot of tracks, and he does that.
I'm sure, you start with road win, then a nice 20-point win tonight. It feels like, this team is, playing pretty well right now, but like I'm sure, for you, you could probably go down a list of, things you want to see improve. So like what's your assessment after 2 games, I guess, so far of, it seems like a lot of good, but as a head coach, how do you kind of evaluate it?
Yeah, I don't think it's very good. I mean, there's times over there where you're watching the basketball and it's like, that's not anything we teach. The good thing right now is you have veteran guys. And I told those guys prior to the game is staying together and doing the right thing isn't just a mindset that you have to have on the road. You have to have it at home. And I do think that our guys, there is a little bit of an edge to them. I mean, these are older guys who are trying to prove themselves collectively. And I do feel that. I don't think we have individuals out there that want to do certain things. We didn't share the ball at the rate that we needed to, but I thought we took care of the ball. Unlike the other night, Harlan, we had 5 turnovers at the half. Harlan had 4 of them. Some of that was footing, some of that's reads. But I do think that we're doing a good job of taking care of the ball. I do like the fact we're able to convert free throws, but we honestly have a long way to go just after watching these 2 games. And again, you're going to have to win ugly. So.
Is there any difficulty with some of the older guys that have played a lot of basketball to kind of break some of those bad habits that they bring into the program?
Yes, I mean there's always. I think what they're trying to do is the first thing you have to do as a player when you come in is you have to learn the rules. Like they need to understand because everybody's team's rules are different. I don't mean rules as don't stay out past 11 p.m. kind of rules. I mean rules and how the game that we see it is supposed to be played. And then you got to stay strict to those rules. And then once you figure out the rules, you can learn how to compete. I thought this group came in and they said, man, what are we trying to do? What does the spacing look like? What are we trying to do defensively? What does the communication need to be? We're a long way from where we need to be. But I will tell you, this is a group that has come in and said, what's the style of play that we need to be successful? And they've done that. Thank you, guys.